Thank you very much. So, I believe that music is, you have to really be, you have to be feeling it, right? There's something that you are wanting to communicate. Music is a way of communicating, right? Music is a language. And in language, the idea of language, I love languages, okay? I speak French, I speak a little Spanish, you know, I speak Trimagasi, you know, just a little Indonesian. But the thing about language is that the reason for language is not just language. Think about that. Language is not, in and of itself, that's not the point. Language is something to be used to communicate something, right? Language is solely for communicating something. So if I am playing music just for the sake of music, music is a language. And that doesn't make any sense. It should be something profound that you want to communicate. For me, that's the love of God, the Savior Jesus. I want to communicate that. And so my music is all about trying some kind of way to communicate God's love through Jesus in such a way that it makes you want to know that love. It's not, I don't want to offend you. I don't want to make you feel embarrassed. I want you to go, wow. That's really what it is. I'm communicating something that's in my heart. Does that make sense? So you want to, just like with language, you want to be as good as possible at the language. Why? Because you want to be able to communicate that thing as well as you possibly can, right? You want to learn English, or you want to learn Indonesian, you want to learn Japanese or French or Spanish as best as you can so that you can communicate well. Well, that's the same thing with music. That's why it's so important that you practice really hard. It's really important that you get as good as you can because you want to be able to communicate something. And for me, that leads to my practice routine. Okay, my practice routine, I can sum it up in maybe 4 different things. You can't sum up 40 years of practicing in 5 minutes, but at least I can say these are the things that I work on. The first thing that I always work on is long tones. I know you saxophone players are going, oh geez, here he goes again. Another somebody talking to me about long tones. Is that the worst thing you can say to a young musician? I was once a young musician, okay? And the first saxophone teacher who said, you have to practice long tones. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. That's like torture. It's like torture. You know, I hear all this cool music around me, like next door. And you're telling me to go, you know, I mean, you gotta be kidding me. To me, I still remember that. You know, so believe me, I'm sorry to have to tell you this. I'm sorry to have to break the news to you. I'm sorry to have to maybe reinforce what you already heard. And that's that if you want to have a beautiful sound on the saxophone, you have to play and practice long tones. It's just as simple as that. How many of you here are in, what's it called? I just lost that word because I'm tired, the jet lag. But when you, gymnastics. Is anybody here who's into gymnastics? Okay, we don't have the gymnastics crowd. Okay, well, so if you were into gymnastics and you were going to try out for the Olympics, right? And you're going to do that routine, you know, where you know, you're going to do that, right? Guess what? Do you think you're going to start doing that? No. What you're going to start doing is this. That's what you're going to be doing. A whole lot of them. And you're going to be doing pull-ups and sit-ups and chin-ups and every kind of ups. Right? You don't get to go out there. No. Because the foundation is doing that hard stuff that's like, you know, it's just as simple as that. I mean, I'm here to tell you, I'm here to bring the bad news. There's no shortcuts. Look at somebody next to you and say, there's no shortcuts.
There's no shortcuts.
No shortcuts. You have to do the work. And so my practice routine starts out every single time I practice. Every time. You say, you're kidding me, for 40 years? Yes. And I'll give you a quick example of it. I mean, you talk about torture, make somebody else listen to you do this. Just so you hear how I do it. Watch my neck. Watch carefully. What happens to my neck? It expands. Do like this, like you're gonna yawn. Yawn. Okay, but just before you yawn, you feel your throat open. That's what I do. Every time I put my horns in my mouth, it's almost like I'm yawning. I'm doing it very quick, but I take a long time. Okay? So that's one, and I can talk more about that. And I go from the middle of the instrument, I work my way up and down at the same time, right? Up, down, up, further down, up, down. So then I'm at the end of my instrument, right? But I start in the middle because the sound in the middle of the instrument is the sound you want on the whole instrument, right? You want it to be even. All right, so that's the first thing is long tones. And along with that, I also practice vibrato. Who does not know what vibrato means? Please be honest. Okay, vibrato. Here is vibrato. Here is no vibrato. Okay, here is no vibrato. Here is vibrato. Not with the throat, not with the any side, not here, but with the jaw. And I'll do this.
iPhone metronome.